Is that what my poem is? Ah, welcome to my Big Brother 25 recap for week one, Veto, Eviction episodes, and week two, HOH. Guys, welcome to our podcast for tonight.
Hey
Yes, we
guys.
are going to fit all of those things in, plus some live feeds, plus some details from us attending last week's Detroit watch party. We're gonna get through all of this, guys, ahead of the 8 o'clock episode Eastern time for the new Veto episode. How are you today,
Oh, I'm doing good. We got a lot to fit into this one.
Janelle?
I forgot about the episode. I was like, whoop.
It's not even our fault. Like, first of all, I'm blaming partially Love Island because I had to catch up on 3 episodes of Love Island because they decided to add an episode last week.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I podcast all of the episodes. And then on top of that, all the Big Brother episodes. So fun.
Fun,
But
fun.
this week, guys, has been probably I just started watching Big Brother recently. So this has probably been one of the craziest weeks I've ever watched.
Flip flop, flippity flip flop for the past several days. So absolutely.
It's been nuts. I don't even like. I'm reading, I'm watching, I'm trying to keep up. I'm like, I can't be at work taking notes because, like, first of all, you take notes and then it changes by the time you get out of work.
Yes. From day to day. I'm like, wait a minute. Just 6 hours ago, it was something else.
It was
So
absolutely something else. So, wow. So, last time we left off, we discussed the premiere episode and the HOH comp, and Riley was the HOH, and we went to this Detroit watch party.
yep.
I watched the Veto episode from last week recently. I didn't watch it, but I did watch the Eviction last week. I will say I was very annoyed at the Eviction, but we will get there. But let's start off with this Veto episode from last week. And so we start off, Kirsten felt very betrayed. In her head, she had created an alliance, or she was in an alliance that she felt was good, and the HOH was in that alliance. So why was she on the block? And what she didn't realize is that that alliance was fake to everybody who was in it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just created a target on her back because while they left it out of the episode, just people were discussing, people were chit-chatting, and what they did not realize is Kirsten wasn't the one created the actual alliance.
Right.
She wasn't just the one girl in the actual alliance, but that is what was spreading around the house. Yeah. And it made all the other ties that she was trying to make in the house feel fake to everybody else, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so we do see Jared and Corey are just relieved to be off the block.
Yeah.
And Felicia is upset to still be on the block. But she said she's going to invoke her inner Taylor Hale and get herself through the week and off the block. So it can't hate on that one. Kirsten, on the other hand, she's crying, she's upset. And Izzy, who, they edited Izzy pretty well last week because Izzy was one of the people who Kirsten was confiding in and literally was like throwing her under the bus for no reason most of last week. But here we see her trying to console her, and we do get like an ITM from Sari, and we get a bit of a thought process of what Sari was thinking, because when you're watching on the live feeds, it just feels like she was keeping Kirsten like at a distance, but she literally tells you, first of all, she was paranoid that someone would come after her and Jared, and her priority is her and Jared.
Yeah.
And she felt like Kirsten was messy and could mess up their game and their game plan, and so she had to go out the door.
Yeah.
And while I don't necessarily agree, because I feel like she could have been a number for her, at
Mm-hmm.
this point I understand the priority and the hierarchy. How about you, Janelle?
I agree. I think that had Jared not had whatever distrust in Kirsten that
Hmm.
he had, that it might have turned out it's hard against Felicia because obviously her and Felicia are tight. But
Right.
I think that if Jared hadn't felt how he felt about Kirsten, didn't really trust her, it'd have been a different relationship for the two of them because she was ready to work with her. Before she heard of any other alliance, they hugged, good bond, ready to rock with Kirsten until she heard her son's perspective on her. And then just, some other chit chat around the house. So I agree. It was unfortunate because if she would have just had that talk that she had with her a little bit sooner, it
Hmm.
really could have been just the advice that Kirsten needed
Yeah.
to know.
Slow her roll.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
or talk to. You could talk. We could talk game, but you just
Yeah.
got to talk to the right people.
I agree. So we do see a conversation between Riley and Felicia, and she assures her she's the pawn.
Yeah,
Um, the backyard opens up. Felicia falls into the hot tub. That was funny.
she
I'm so glad they put it from the feed.
She is something. She has to be on her like eighth mic pack. She's
Yeah,
dropped it in the toilet a couple of times, then fell. I'm sure it was ruined when she fell into the pool. So
hilarious.
hilarious.
Um, and then they kind of start laying the groundwork of all the alliances in the house. So Cameron discusses that the scary room have built a connection. They have a pineapple child, and the scary room is Jag, Riley, Blue, and Matt. And Felicia is just watching them, and she's like, they're throwing up red flags. You can see how already close they are, and in her head, they're already an alliance. The funny part that they left out is that Kirsten said this.
Yeah.
Kirsten was telling people this and they ignored her. And
Mhm.
they said she's being messy, but she was telling the truth.
Yeah. A
She
lot
was
of
telling the truth.
a lot of what she was sharing was the truth, and that's the problem. People are like, oh, it's who is she saying it to, and
Right,
what rooms is she saying it? So her reads weren't bad, just shouldn't have said them in front of some of the people that she said them in front of.
right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And we do see Jag and Riley create a final two here.
Yeah,
The scary room meets in the HOH, and they become the core group called the Handful.
yeah. I think it's a cute name though. I like it.
It was a cute name.
Yeah.
So too bad it's about to go up in flames. And we do see Corey and Cerie's conversation from the live feeds from like the first night, and he's like, "I won't fanboy too much, but you were amazing. You should have won." Blah 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 blah. And she's like, "He should know better than to be super fanning me."
See, I agree. Game wise, not the best move. You don't want her to know how good she is, or
Right.
your perception is that she's that good. So
Right.
I'm like, Corey, zip it. But as a fan of Cerie that has watched her since she started this show, I would be the same.
Yeah.
I would try not to be, but I'll be like, oh my God. Like, I would be wanting to ask her all the Survivor questions, tell her
Right.
all of my opinions,
Right.
want to ask her about all the inside dirt that I could possibly get. So, game wise, not the best decision, but as a fangirl of Cerie, I understand Corey's fanboying.
Yeah.
1000%.
I feel like he could have like found a balance between downplaying it, like recognizing you're a great player, but
Didn't even have to
also
say that part.
yeah, like
Yeah.
recognizing it that I understand that you're a great player, but also not vocalizing it.
Yes.
And
Yes. Because he
it
simply
has to be a balance.
I would just want to, I could leave out all the you were robbed. It's all true. Well, never mind. It's all true. But he could have left all of that, she's robbed, blah, 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 out, and then just asked her just general questions that he wanted to know. Like, so at this point, or at that point, or this season, or that season, because very few people know how good she is. Cameron asked her, I believe it was Cameron asked her, how far did you get in your season? She's like, which one? He's like,
Right.
huh? Yeah, they don't know. So yeah, Corey needs to zip that a little bit. And it's hilarious to me how much he's talking to Jared about it. He had a whole conversation with Jared about how Suri is a legend. She's a
Yeah.
great, like on and on and on and on. I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh.
I mean, he does ITM. She's the one to beat. He's like, I am going to play Big Brother with the great Suri Fields, and I have to beat her. And
Yeah.
respect it. Don't
Yeah.
necessarily want it, but definitely respect it.
Yes. But at least in saying that, Jared knows, okay, he's not looking to cut her at
Yeah.
any in the near future.
Right. Well, he
Yeah.
tried last week, but it didn't work.
He's moving forward.
Yes, moving forward.
Yeah.
So we do get a really nice conversation with Jag, talking about how he's the first to represent his culture on Big Brother. So he's Sikh, and that is why he wears a turban on his head. And he is happy to represent his culture, because he says, like, even in his own area of living, there's not even any majority or primary people of his culture in his area.
Yeah. I've never
And
met anybody of his culture personally.
so I have a large, but I live near New York City, so I have
Yeah.
large cultural pockets here, and so it runs the gamut. So
Yeah.
definitely. But we also get Haitham talking about him being Egyptian and Muslim Egyptian, and both really happy to represent their culture. And I thought that was a nice conversation.
I'm glad they included it.
Yeah, I'm glad they included it, especially talking about, like, after September 11th and things that have impacted both of them and pit each other against each other and that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I did like that conversation. And then Felicia then goes and tells her room, the comic room, that the scary room is in alliance.
Yes, they are. She's right. Like, it's blatant.
It was
and
blatant.
It's blatant, and I think that that's why we got that alliance forming in response to, like, look at them over there. They're so obvious. Everybody can see it, and we got to do something about it. So I was glad to finally see players recognize the big alliance or one gathering and then do something in response to that big alliance. You know what I mean? They didn't just sit there. They didn't try to get on. They formed their own to try to combat that.
Right. What I thought was weird was when they're discussing it, Bowie decides to leave the room.
She always does. I think she's just trying to be involved as little as possible. It's seemingly to me. She doesn't want to look suspicious. The same way they peeped that scary room alliance. She ain't trying to get peeped in the comic room, being all in it. But I think it's working for her because nobody knows where she, at least the other side, doesn't really know where she's at, doesn't think she's really playing the game, which she's really not. She's playing very minimally. Right. But watch her get to the end. Like, watch her. Who's going to go after Bowie? I wouldn't go after Bowie. I got a whole lot of people.
They have talked about putting her up, though. So I don't know if it's necessarily working, but I see what you say. Like, her laying low for a while could necessarily get her up to where she could be high.
It's no fun being a pawn, but is she gonna go home? Like, who's gonna go home? Like, why would they if they put Jag up there, why would they send Bowie home? If they put Riley up there, why would they send Bowie home? If they put Blue up there, why would they send Bowie home?
Fair.
I would take all of those players out before a Bowie who's barely involved in anything. She's just on a summer in a summer house doing nothing. You know? Okay, guys, you got it. Okay, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm more looking at it as a fall cabin right now.
True.
So after Bowie leaves the room, they come up with their alliance, and their name is the Bye Bye Bitches.
Hilarious. And I like it because Janelle said it Love Janelle.
Hey,
Hey,
Robbie.
love Janelle. So I'm like, yes, I like it. I like the name.
Yeah, I love the name.
I like how they're like playing it up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? In the DRs and everything. It's fun.
yeah, I love it.
And in there
And
too, we have Sari,
mhm,
Felicia, Izzy, Mimi, Bowie.
which I think is a great mix.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, and Cherie's like, listen, first of all, if y'all are creating an alliance and putting me in it, then I'm gonna be loyal to these people who are putting me in it.
Yes.
And she's absolutely right because
Yeah.
they were very clear of who they were excluding from their alliance. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna create our own alliance, and now we're gonna go roll on you. And I loved that. That's her thought process. Her thought process wasn't, oh, like why can't I get in with them? Her thought process initially was, these people are willing to bring me in. I'm going to focus on these people and be loyal to them.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, me too. She was like, y'all gonna be, I'll be loyal to you until you're no longer loyal to me, and then it's bye bye, bitches. I was like, I
Yeah.
love how they're playing
Yeah.
it up. So fun.
I will say this: I watching all of these episodes. Sari is giving the best ERs.
She's funny. She's like
Yeah,
witty with it, you know?
and it does not feel scripted. It does not feel like that they're making her do like say and do these things.
Yeah.
It feels very genuine. She is one of the only ones that
Wow.
are coming across that way.
She'd have been on 6 shows, so she been.
Yeah, yeah. So if I will say that regular episode wise, Siri is literally gold for them because she's giving great TRs.
Yeah, I need them. Never mind. We'll get to Mimi, but
Yeah.
yes.
Well, hopefully this week, but
Yeah.
uh, next we see the handful have decided they need extra people in their alliance for some reason. So they pull in Corey,
Jared
um, and
and
then they pull in Jared, which was
yeah.
a mistake.
Little
Because
do they
Jared
know.
runs and tells his mother, and she's now like paranoid. Like, no, for real. Like, y'all are bringing in Jared, and you didn't bring in me.
But you just got to thank your lucky stars that they did. She has all the intel she needs to know how to combat what they're planning to do. You
Right.
know, it's literally perfect for her. I'm not on this side, but my kid is, so I have all the information that I need to move forward in this game. So,
But then we get Kirsten's infamous cam talk.
oh,
I loved this cam talk where she's basically like, all right, guys, I know that, y'all are worried for me, but I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to go after the veto. And then she's like, I know it may seem, because people were like, why is she like crying to Riley? Why is she trying to get in with Riley? But she was like, listen, um, I plan on working with Riley if I stay in this game because she has made an enemy out of me. And you know the saying, keep your friends close and keep your enemies
enemies
closer. And
personal.
I was like, period. Period.
And she did a good job though. Like in the comp, she did
Yeah.
a good job, but she was in it. Like
Yeah.
at one point, I was like, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. And
Yeah.
then her stack fell.
And
So
then
she
I
did a really, really good job.
Yeah. So we do get the veto draw. Riley picks
Sorry.
Heisem. And she was very happy with that because that's what she wanted. But she wanted House Guest Choice so that she could say his name. And Kirsten picked Blue and Felicia, which she said she didn't trust anybody in this house. And I got, again, Kirsten's reads were on point.
Yeah.
And Felicia chose Cameron. And Sari wants Noms to say the same because, again, like I said, she's paranoid. She feels like it's possible that someone could backdoor her or Jared
Yeah.
and Fair. So she goes to hell and tells Heisem, listen, there's an 8-person alliance over there, and we have to like combat that. We have to keep Noms the same. Sorry, Miss Felicia, we're gonna keep Noms the same, and then we're gonna go after them.
And I
And
thought that was smart because
yeah,
that only gave him motivation to win,
yeah,
to keep himself safe, you
yeah.
know? So I like that from her.
And he even says that he's like now he's got to worry about winning because he also doesn't want them coming after him.
Right.
again, like I feel like they played this week fairly well. So we do get the veto comp. Sari hosts. It's a flower comp, flower stacking comp, and so they
Yeah.
had to stack flowers, and then they were getting wedgies and sprinkle some water on them. And I will tell you, this comp was boring. This comp was stupid.
Wow.
It was dumb.
Just
Um,
flower blocks.
yeah,
Whoever can stack them on top of each other the fastest.
yeah. It was. I
I
mean, it
mean,
was pretty, but it was dumb.
it was, yeah, I agree. It's one of those, you don't know who's going to be good at something like that, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah,
So I appreciate at least those types of comps when anybody really has a shot to win.
this is true. This is true. It
Yeah.
it did seem like it was an even playing field. It just to me was just like the whole wedgie stopping the and then like the sprinkles of like I could not.
Yes, I agree. We could have done without that part. We could have done without that part of it. Just let them stack flowers.
Yeah. And so we do see like Cameron came really close. There was a point where I think Riley came close.
Hmm.
Kirsten right at the end was really, really close, but Heisen pulls out the win at the last second, stacked his last flower, hit the button, and his first comp win. And so um, that was all she wrote. We do see after that Kirsten does kind of complain to him, campaign to him that she wasn't complaining, she was campaigning to him that she wants to stay and she would be there to help him fight. And he at the end of the day says he doesn't want to use it because he came in second in the first two comps, so second in the initial premiere comp. He
Hmm.
goes second in the head of household comp, and now he's won his first veto, and he doesn't want the target to be on him next week.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to use it. And as I said, what kind of wasn't showed from the feeds was that like really Izzy and Sari were so paranoid that Sari was getting backdoor. No matter how many times Jared tried to tell them, no, if it wasn't, it was going to be that other guy who
Yeah.
very, I'm not speaking his name except for when they kick him out. That it was going to be that other guy that was not going to be them being backdoored. And
Yeah.
so they got Heisem on that level two. So he was like, I'm not using it. So we get the veto ceremony. He doesn't use it. Noms are locked. And Kirsten's the target. Um,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much all she wrote for the week. So the eviction episode. So we really like. I watched it once at the watch party. um, it was an annoying episode. So we do get Luke was expelled last week for saying a racial slur.
Yeah.
Uh,
We
and
all
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
have notes from this one. So we continue with the veto comp.
Mhm.
Heisem wins the veto, of course, but also in this episode, the professor's form.
Right.
Yeah, me too. She said that it's weird that they did not cancel the eviction. Completely agree.
I agree.
Once they announced that Luke was out, why do we need to move forward with this?
Yeah.
We have 100 days more to play Big Brother.
Yeah.
He did the wrong thing. He messed up. He's out. Let's start over.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed that they didn't cancel it. They could
Yeah.
have easily canceled it.
Yeah. I agree. I thought that it was so disappointing that watching that episode. Um and okay, you're not going to cancel the eviction. At least allow her the chance for a battle back. Like, because I have a feeling the target for this week. I want. How many people want to bet they're going to make it so that she could come back?
Better not.
So, yeah,
But I was so, so, so hopeful that there was going to be some opportunity for her to come back. You know, I was like,
Yeah,
okay, maybe she still has a shot. But anyway, in this episode, we see the professors form. The older people are galvanizing against the younger people. In the professors, we have Sari, Hisam, Bowie, Miss Felicia, Izzy, Mimi, and Red. And they view themselves as the older crew, ready to teach those youngins a lesson. So they called themselves the professors. I think the name is also cute.
I do too.
There's good names this season. Usually I'm just like, that's terrible, but there's really good. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think they've all like come up with really good names. I think the name for the 8 on the other side is crowd control, or no, that's the 4. So it's something else. But I thought the names that they all came up with were really really cute. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So most of the episodes was like them kind of glossing over why Luke was being expelled. And then they went through everybody evicting
Kirsten.
Kirsten,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very annoyed by that. And not only just because they didn't cancel the eviction, but nobody could throw her a pity vote, one vote. Matt, you've been hanging out with her all week. You couldn't like throw her a vote?
Yeah, I was hoping to, because there's no need to send somebody out on a unanimous. I mean, I know it's just a game and it wasn't anything like personal, but I just felt bad. You know, I
Yeah,
just felt bad. Somebody vote for her. You guys know she's going home. It doesn't have to be a unanimous vote, you know?
yeah,
And here, and also, I wanted to bring up in this episode, we see Izzy having a conversation with Riley that I thought was hilarious. I don't know. There's something fascinating to me about Izzy. They were sitting in the HOH talking, and Izzy's like, let's just cut the BS. You know there's a side. I know there's a side. We're not working together, but that doesn't mean we can't look out for each other. And I think that Riley's reception to Izzy or reaction to what Izzy was saying, the vibes Izzy was getting back, is the reason why Izzy is so cool towards her now when Riley needs her. Do you know what I mean? So you
yeah.
always got to keep in mind how you might need somebody in the future. And there's just something about Riley that comes off disingenuous.
Absolutely disingenuous. She
So,
is dismissive. She is, and it's not even rude. It's like she's not thinking about it at all.
or she's not really invested or listening really to what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's how I feel. I feel like she's there, but she's not like she's not there, or she's
no,
not listening, or she's not engaging, or something. But there's just something I wanted to bring that up because in the coming week,
yeah.
she needs her and she stalks to her, and I don't think she's gonna get anywhere. If Izzy would save, never mind. I'm getting way ahead of the game. We'll get there.
Well, not even. Let's talk about the conversation that she had with Cameron, where he basically told her that he outed the alliance
Mm-hmm.
to the other side before her HOH even ended, and that she needed to disengage herself
Yeah.
from her alliance and come
Mm-hmm.
with him to the other side where the professors were.
Yeah.
And basically, he's throwing both sides under the bus because he wanted them both to blow up. But his thing was to um, alienate and um, separate Riley because he has something about Riley that he is obsessed with. I think that's a good word,
Yeah.
obsessed with. And like he doesn't want her around Matt. He does like he's just trying to separate her. She listened to his entire conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and the next day everybody's like, "Wait, who flipped? Who told them? How did they know? What's going on?" And
Yeah.
she's just like, "I don't know. I have no clue." And we're like, and so I said, "Was she like asleep when Cameron had that a full conversation with her, telling her that he threw their entire alliance under the bus?" But I
Yeah.
think it kind of breeds to what you're saying. She just does not listen. She just like
Yeah.
if she's not interested or if she is not like in her head, if it doesn't get there, like it's
Mhm.
gone. She's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's conducive to playing this game. There's too much information. There's too many people to try to create connections with for you to do something like that. Because then you're on the outs. No matter how much somebody tries to pull you into the other side, you can never get in there because you are not focused on creating and strengthening those bonds and relationships.
Well, definitely not with the other side. She's interested in who she's interested in, and
Right.
that's what she sticks to. Part of a mistake that she made that first week. Yeah, Cameron is major. His vibe with her is very, very weird. It's like he wants to be, she reminds me of her daughter. I'm like her
Yeah.
brother, but he also seems like he likes her. He's attracted to her.
Yes.
It's very, very, very weird vibes. Like he's trying to separate, he's playing it as if he's trying to help her.
Right.
Maybe in his mind he is, I don't know. But the way he's trying to pull her away from Matt, separate her from her crew. It's like when she was around him, she was more sad, she was more crying. And that next day, when she played bumper pool with Corey, she
Mhm.
lost that. They had a bet. She was supposed to be his maid for the day. Those two had the best time doing that. They were so silly about it, living it up, really playing into it. And there's Matt. Hey, what you doing? How long are you going to be doing this for? Just because she's having a nice time, it's very, very, very weird.
Yeah.
No matter which one of them goes Thursday, I'm just glad that he's not going to be around her. You know what I mean? It's very, very weird. And I could see it getting weirder
Yes.
if Riley didn't stick to what he thought she should do. You know?
Yes, I agree with that. And I don't like to diagnose anybody, but I do feel like his behavior is inappropriate. His behavior also, Riley doesn't understand it. And I feel like her losing her father at a very young age, because she did lose him, I think, when she was like two to four or something like that.
Yeah.
And so in his thing, he is portraying himself as a father figure. He's here for her, but then he's doing this weird, disgusting, flirty crap with her, and like telling her she can't have a showmance with Matt, and like it's not appropriate at all. Not
Yeah, it's
appropriate at all.
very, very, very weird.
Yeah. So Kirsten does get evicted. She does go out to Julie, and I still had hope. I still had hope. I still had hope, guys. We were in the Detroit party, and Taylor's pacing, and Janelle and I are there like, oh my god, like this is not fair. Why is she going out? And
But we
then
still have hope.
but we're like, okay, maybe it's a battle back. Maybe they're gonna put her somewhere, and then because I think when we already found out that they had canceled all her interviews for the next day. I think so.
I'm
Um,
not sure.
I think we did, because everybody was saying their interviews with Kirsten got canceled last minute. There would be no interviews with that expelled house guest, and so I was like, okay, so they canceled her interviews. Maybe it's possible that they were just going to shove her somewhere, and then she could come back. And then she comes down, sits down with Julie, and Julie tells her, "Oh, there was a secret relationship." I was like,
Oh no, I know. I think that whole place collectively sighed at that moment because
yeah,
everybody was hoping that she was going to have a second chance.
yeah.
Really,
It
really
was
sad.
so sad. It like
Yeah.
I was crying. I was like tears. Like,
Well, I cry, but I
yeah.
felt bad.
Well, I cry at everything, guys. Don't mind me. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry for all different times. I cry at Hallmark movies. I'm a cry at Big Brother. Because I was just like, wow, you just took away all hope. So
Yeah.
she does tell her about Jared and Sari having a relationship and what that relationship is. She does. Kirsten does then say to her, "Oh, that makes sense because." Jared had mentioned his nickname or
Mhm.
something for
Yep.
football, and someone said that that was Cerie's
Three Sons nickname.
son's nickname, and it
Yeah.
was like, oh, it doesn't seem like anybody's caught on.
No, not at all.
So
But her reaction was the best. She was like, "Oh."
yeah,
I loved it. I watched it on Instagram like 5 times because it was so funny to me. I am so excited for people's reactions for the weeks to come. Like
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see all the reactions. But yeah, her reaction was the best, and I thought she looked beautiful talking to
she
Julie.
did.
She handled that. She handled it so well.
She
Handled the
did.
questions well. And I've seen her on social media. She seems happy. She's posting and sharing all kinds of clips of her, like fan art, fan
Yeah,
videos of her. She seems to be
yeah,
loving all of those. So
yeah.
I hope she's doing well. It seems so from afar.
Yeah. Natalie says, the Cameron and Riley relationship is giving me Elvis and Paloma,
Yes.
or grapefruit cocktail, as we like to call her. And
Yes.
yeah, that's exactly what it's giving. Somebody was saying it was something else, and I was like, no, 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 no. It's literally that weirdo and his ties to that
Her.
girl who
Yes.
went out week one, and it's not healthy. It's not, and like, uh, it's just not cool. I don't like stuff like that because I feel like it's taking advantage of somebody who otherwise, like, you're just preying on somebody at that point. Like, there's no
Yeah.
reason to do something like that. And so yeah, so after that I was like, oh yeah, she's not coming back, that's it.
Yeah.
That's when you knew.
Yeah.
And there was all sorts of rumors, and we won't get into that, but that, like, seriously, it just threw a whole thing into tailspin for me. Um, and that was it. But at the end of the episode, we see that
House guests are
Julie's call,
gone.
Julie's calling to the house guests, and they're all gone. It's like, wait a minute, where did they go?
Where did they go? Yes, and then they end the episode with those scary hands on the windows. I was like, "Oh, come on, Big Brother, what is this?" I was excited to see like what this comp could possibly be. I thought they were gonna split the people in half. That's what I assumed at this point.
Well, was there 16 left at that
No,
point?
you're right. There was 17.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I knew they weren't going to do that. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why, while I do, like, I know a lot of people don't think that it's possible the rumors that were out was going to happen. I do think that that was possible because it still would have been like 18 people, and they could have evenly split them. But
Yeah.
once I knew Kirsten wasn't coming back, I was like, yeah, no, it's over. It's over. And so we do see like a little portal, Big Brother in their Marvel universe little thing. And so the house guests are gone.
Yeah.
So then on Sunday, we got this HOH comp, and I'm going to tell you, probably one of the best comps I've seen in a very long time. Yeah, I actually really
I
like this comp.
hated it.
Yeah, I loved it. But
I
again,
hated
I
it.
told you, I like Marvel stuff, and like, I thought it was so cool.
I was like, what? I mean, I thought it looked like okay, and the little scary guy running around. So, from my understanding of it, it was like hide and go seek, but
Yes.
you had to listen to what they were saying to figure out where was best to hide.
Yeah.
That the person wouldn't get you.
Yes.
I guess this is also another one of those anybody has a chance.
Yes.
If you could listen and be observant and look
Yeah.
out for these clues, but it was
And some of it was a
so
little luck because even with like America, like
they got
she
there
knew
first.
where to go, but by the time she wasn't fast enough, and so by the
Right.
time she got there, she was shit out of luck. And
Yeah.
so I do feel like this was something different and something a little more even than we've been getting in the last, like, for I've watched a couple of seasons now, and I was like, no, this is ridiculous. Nobody can
I
win
mean,
these.
she's right. It was very, very different. But why was it? It was so long. It was like 3 segments or something. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I think
we
I
get
wrote
it.
down all
Like,
the
come on, Big Brother. Speed it up.
Yeah,
Well,
wrap
I
it
guess
up the
I'm
comp and tell us
outvoted.
something different. So I agree. I think I like that it was an even playing field. So let's go a little bit. I like that it also they sent them like off of the out of the house. Like, I thought
Yeah.
that was so cool, and you could tell it's like one of those, like, probably TV show lots with the little mini houses, and they set it up for the comp. And so it's basically they're in the nether region. That is the nether region that they've been talking about. And they meet the nether gorgon. And the nether gorgon is going to attack different areas of the nether region. And they will give clues to tell you where it's safe to hide. But
Yeah.
there's limited spaces, and you have to listen to the clues carefully. And at the end of the comp, one person will win and one person stays in the nether region.
Yes.
And I just like the concept. I thought it was cool. So round one, the clues were crows never more than 3, find an axe, doll missing a left arm, and right off the bat, Mimi, Blue, Cameron were all eliminated because they were all on this front porch. Didn't have any of this stuff. Um, and then the next one was let's see, word keep had to be there. 7 candles, rats and spiders, and I do like that they kept continuity. They all had to like go back through the portal to get back into the BB house, and I was like, I wonder how long like it actually
Oh
took
my
them to
God.
push them.
And that's why the feeds were down for 9 million hours, doing all these portals and running. No.
Oh my god. And so that one, America, Jag, Sari, Matt, and Izzy were all eliminated. I was like, damn, they're eliminating these people fast.
And it still took forever. Look at me. I'm such a
And it
Debbie
still
Downer.
took forever. The
Yes.
next one was 6 bones, doll with a backwards head, 10 links in a chain. And at this point, Corey ITMs that he goes to the area where he sees 9 links in the chain because he is throwing this comp. He don't want this HOH. He is done. And I was like, see, Corey, this is why I can root for you, because smart.
Yeah.
He's going to be smart. Jared, on the other hand, is not. Because why was he gunning for this HOH? Please, somebody explain that to me.
I don't know, because I think that would have been terrible, because he's gonna have to show that he ain't with the side he's spying on, or nominate. You know what I mean? I don't know what his plans were. And Sari was rooting for him to win as well. I think she just worried about, hey, I need safety, and we need safety by any means necessary, was her train of thought. But yeah, I'm curious to know, Jared, what are you going to do if you did win this? Because the handful, or in addition to him, family style, think you're with them. So he's going to nominate. So I was curious. I'm glad he didn't win.
Not by his own hand. He did
right, because he tried.
He tried too hard.
Yeah.
So here, Corey does get eliminated. Felicia gets eliminated. Red and Bowie all get eliminated and sent back to the BB house. So that does leave Hisam and Jared. Mm-hmm. And Jared really wants this. And so he had noted that there was a 4 written on one of the cards, the number 4. And he was like, okay, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
And we do see back at the BB house, Jag is like, we need Jared to win this. America's like, yeah, Hisam is carrying that team. We need Jared to win this and keep us safe. And so the clues were 3 carvings. In the 3 carvings, they had to read the words and put the words together. Whichever door they chose, there was 2 houses with numbers on the door. Whichever door they chose, one would lead to the HOH room, which I thought was so cool.
Oh my goodness!
And listen, they have done worse bullshit that cartoon last year with the damn sloth. This was actually really good.
Okay. You say so.
And the other would keep that person in the nether region. And Jared, because he just read the one clue and didn't go and find the other clues, picked the first door he thought, which was door 486.
Yeah.
Hisam couldn't find any of the clues, but because Jared already picked a door, he just went to the second door
and won.
And he won.
Yeah.
On door 294, because the clue was, don't pick the door with the 4 in the front. I'm like,
yeah. Well, it's good that he messed up. That's
He
what I have to say
did.
about it. It's good that he
Yeah.
messed up.
It's,
Whether he meant to or not, it doesn't matter. It's good that
yeah.
he messed up. And then he's stuck down there.
Yes.
And I thought it was funny for those who may not have seen it. In the Nether, he was able to pop onto the memory wall. Was it the memory wall? Was it the actual
Yes.
memory
It
wall?
was the
The
memory. It was the
memory
actual memory
wall
room.
and
Yeah.
communicate back and forth with the house guests. And also, I want to mention I've read online that another reason it took a long time is because Matt couldn't hear.
Right. Which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
I
bad
think
for
they
him.
said Bowie had to read the clues to him.
Yeah, so they need to, and I think like it's hard to predict with somebody that's coming in. You don't know how they hear
Yeah.
until you see them in the environment, and if they can or can't hear it, they're
Yeah.
never going to know. So hopefully, I don't know, moving forward, they could do a trial run to see if it would work for him. Because I think that ended up with him having some sort of immunity for the week and not being able to be nominated because of what happened during the comp. So I'm
It's
really
no. It's
hoping.
actually the comp that's tonight.
Oh, that's tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. All right.
So yeah, Jared doesn't come back. Heisen does end up in the HOH room and said, "Guess who's your new HOH?" And Matt is distressed. Jag, America, Blue, all of them, they are
Yes,
distressed.
they
They just
knew.
needed Jared to come back, but Jared is now stuck in another, and he could communicate through the memory wall. Cerie's a little upset, but she's like, at least he's okay.
Yeah.
Um, and Jag is worried about going on the block as a pair with Riley because at this point,
Mhm.
Heisem has made it very clear Riley's going to be his target.
Yeah, he's
And
not hiding it. He's not shy about it. He's very bold about it,
yeah,
which his his approach is interesting to me. It
mhm.
is very, 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 very Kylan. Kylan, the way he ran his HOHs was interesting as well, and people hated it. But Heisem is bold. He says what he's thinking and what he means. I think it's not the best way to play, but at least you know what you're getting.
Right. This is true, but Cerie, Heisem, Bowie, and Felicia celebrate in the storage room, and kind of Bowie just kind of says that like you got this, you're going to be straightforward about this, and they're not worried about it. He really does literally pull Matt and Riley into the room, and it's like, yeah, I heard she was saying my name,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's going on the block, and Matt, are
He
you in
tried to
that
deny
alliance?
it. Yes.
Yeah, are
He's
you
like,
in that alliance?
no.
He's
Heisen's like, no, no, no.
like, yeah, don't. He's like, I know there's an alliance, and didn't you have a name? He's like, well, I can hear, I don't know the name.
He was cracking me up. I was like, get it, Matt. At least use it for your advantage. He's
Yes,
lying. He clearly knows the name,
he
but
knows the name.
right. I thought
Uh,
it was a good creative lie though, because how are you gonna say he heard it? He's
yeah,
like, we were just hanging out. I like
yeah.
these people. If there was a name, I didn't know.
Oh man, and so yeah, they're upset that Jared and Matt didn't win, and they think that Heisem is the leader on the other side. Jared then just does pop up in the memory wall. He hasn't slept, um, and he's stuck in another till they let him out.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia and Heisem chat, and he's basically like, Matt, Cameron, and Riley are the target. Riley is the target, and he's trying to figure out between Matt and Cameron who's going to go up on the block with her.
Yeah.
And in between that and his final decision, Jared is sent back by the scary verse from the nether region, and Cameron reads a message from the scary verse that Jared has to choose someone for safety from the elimination. And Heisen basically pulls Jared in real quick not to choose Matt, Riley, or Cameron.
Yeah, yes. And immediately Riley's on his butt. I don't blame her. I'd be like, look, I saved you last week. Can you return the favor?
Yeah,
And Jared was like, oh, no, 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 you gotta trust me, blah, blah, blah. But I thought Jared's better call was to say something along the lines of, look, I'm still vulnerable. The HOH has told me who they're targeting and who he's okay with me saving. I don't know if I could still go up. So I don't
Right,
know how comfortable I am
right.
saving you when I was told not to. Like, I feel like the way he played it to her wasn't good. Like, just
No.
say I need to save myself. Like, you
Yeah,
can't blame and not like I can't be mad at you, Tamika, for
yeah,
not saving me when
yeah,
that would have put you. He could have said, he told me if I save you, I'm going on the block.
yeah.
So
And
you know
and
what I
and
mean?
the thing is, he does ITM that. He does say that, which
Yes.
is why couldn't he say that to
To
Riley?
her, yes. I was like, Jared, because that just takes the onus off of him. Because she can't
Yeah,
really be mad at Jack. Can't be mad. Riley can't. Nobody can be
yeah,
mad at that.
yeah.
So I don't know
And
why
and
he did
and
not do
then
that.
play up that, but you're going to save somebody from your side to make sure that he can't target that person as well,
Yes.
backdoor them or whatever.
Yeah.
So because it can't be you, you're going to help keep them as safe as possible. And so, Sari does tell him to send Jack, because they were thinking of sending Miss Felicia, and at the end of the day, or Sari, but at the end of the day decided to kind of curry favor to send Jag, but not send Riley. And I do feel like that was the good play. I just feel like
Yeah.
the verbiage on what needed to be said
Yes.
was not done.
Yes. He should have. He could have completely played that up. Because if I
Yeah,
was Riley, I'd be like, forget him. I'm never
yeah,
helping him again. I mean, we could still work with him,
right.
but he would be. I
Yeah,
mean, I know he's at the bottom, but he'd be even more at the bottom. So I think he
yeah.
just could have played that a little bit better
Feel
right
bad better.
there. Yeah.
I also didn't like, she was just whining and crying and just, you have to save me, I saved you. And it's like, okay, you saved me, right? But I'm like, my whole thing is, we're going to protect you, but I can't protect you if it's a, like, what is it going to do if I end up on the block? And that's what he needed to say, and that's what he didn't say.
Yeah.
So he does send Jag to the nether region, and Riley complains the entire time. And on feeds, she was complaining to everybody. To Matt. Matt was there complaining with her, that he didn't understand why Jared didn't send her. But she was complaining to America. And she was complaining to Blue. And I think it got to them like, okay, you're complaining about this, but like, it's not just about you. Like Jag is safe. Like, it's not something he should be entitled to. Why are you the only person entitled to the safety? Oh, but
Right.
I did this for the alliance. I sent Kirsten out. That was your fault. You should not have sent Kirsten out. She should not have been your target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, she just she's Riley. That's why I feel like that's why I'm disappointed that Jared didn't lean more into what we were saying,
Yeah,
because that would have cut a lot of that down. Because you cannot be mad at Jared for that.
yeah,
Like I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be upset, but like, not. I can't blame you for putting yourself first over me. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, Jag, on the other hand, is like, he doesn't understand because he feels safe. He believed Heisem when Heisem did tell him, it wasn't in the episode, but Heisem did tell him he didn't want to pit Brown Boy versus Brown Boy against each other. Which again, they had that conversation about their cultures being pit against each other their entire lives. So he didn't want to carry that into the game. And fair, like
Love
absolutely
it.
fair.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like we watched a Frenchie HOH where he said he didn't want to target any of the people of color, any of the women. And
And that's who was on the block.
then the next day
Yeah.
someone's on the block. So like, listen, like, you can think you're as safe as you want to be with
Don't mean nothing.
the HOA. It doesn't mean nothing when it comes down to who am I going to nominate, and I can't nominate somebody out of my own alliance.
Yeah. And I was happy like when Jag got back for the Nether, because he was super, super suspicious of Jared and his motivation for picking him. And he
Yeah,
was kind of quizzing him at the moment. And then here comes Riley, like, guys, Cameron spilled the whole lot. That's when they had that conversation that we were referencing earlier that made us uncomfortable, that we don't like watching. But she came up to Jag and to Jared and said, guys, it's Cameron. Cameron told me that he outed our entire alliance to the other side. I was
yeah,
happy for that, because then I felt like Jag was a little bit, not fully, off the set of Jared. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yeah.
Because
I was glad that that happened, because they were Blue and him. And this is my thing with Blue and Jag. Let's talk a little bit about them. They pissed me off because I had so much hope for them. Like,
As players?
yes.
Okay. Because
Well,
they're getting
I mean,
twist
Jag is
women?
your winner pick and Blue is my winner pick.
You're disappointed in Jag and Blue, or did you say Jared and Blue?
Jag and Blue.
Why Jag?
I don't think that he is playing properly. For somebody who keeps saying he's a fan of this game, I don't understand why that you have decided to put your entire alliance out on Front Street for everybody to know who you're working with. Every single person, down to your final two on both sides.
Yeah.
You protected yourself not at all. Now, Blue, I don't know how much of a fan she is. It seems like she kind of knows the game. She has some good reads, but she's also like, okay, fair. She's also an influencer, so I get it,
Yeah.
but she's not playing well. She's
See,
not playing well.
I think Jag is okay. Jag's problem is Jared and a little bit of Riley. And
Yes,
Riley's told everybody everything too. Like, it's
yes,
not just because of Cameron and Jared. Riley has
right.
also volunteered a lot. So I think Jag is fine, except for he got a mole in his alliance.
True.
Riley said a little too much about their it's the people that he has in there.
Yes,
If he didn't have a mole and Riley had kept their mouth shut and Cameron
yes.
hadn't flopped, like, he would be fine. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Jared. I mean, Jag, I feel like his game is sinking because of the people that he aligned with, not
But that's
necessarily
what I'm saying. Why you chose to align yourself right off the bat with Riley just because y'all were sleeping in the same room together? Like, because
well,
as soon as he did that, I think he started realizing maybe I shouldn't have did that.
well, I think that, like, people in modern seasons, they try to get their squad quick because and it could be a mistake because you get aligned with the wrong people or people that can't keep, but you can't know that right away. That's something you know after time. So don't necessarily like knock him for it. He can't know that she's not going to keep her mouth shut. It's a room full of people. They're vibing. They feel like they get along and they feel like they can rock together. So they try to get an alliance. You probably want to align with people that you feel similar to, or you can get along with, or you have a nice time with. So I get all that. For me, Jag's major problem are other people. Like, if we would take out some and add some others that can keep their mouth shut, that majority would still be rocking. You know what I mean? So I think it's more so their choice in people. It's hard to know that right off the bat.
Okay, so we're gonna take this into week 2 because I feel like that I can give you that. We're into week 2 now, and he's still doing this. Like, he's not as it's like he's not on Front Street of being as willing to be like, okay, if Riley goes, I'm okay with it, and aligning himself with other people. Instead, he's like, okay, so we have to keep Riley, and then yeah, you guys can come over, but also I'm going to bring Matt, Blue, America, Corey. Like,
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, he wants Riley because he believes she's a number, and and it seems as if they were chuckling at Riley for some choices she made in game talk. Like, Riley, why would you say that? And I think she's moldable in his mind. They just somebody that he can work with and he can trust. I think he should trust her a little bit less with what she's, but I don't know, Tamika. I don't think he's that bad, honestly.
Yeah.
But maybe go ahead.
So Hisam and Cameron do talk, and he basically tells him, listen, you're going up as the pawn. She's my target. And Cameron, we hear, is like, okay, as long as Riley stays the target, I'm good.
Right. Yeah.
So now he's willing to cut her. And
he's
so
weird.
Weird. Oh, weird. And so now we get the nomination ceremony, and Riley and Cameron are locked in as the noms, and Jared says he's devastated because he couldn't save Riley, and I'm like, you've been targeting her all week. I can't. I don't know.
That didn't even. That rolled right over my head. What got me was more Hisam and this integrity talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop it. You cannot. You are never not going to lie to people. You are never going to be loyal to every single person and play this perfect moral high ground. It's not going to happen. He is setting himself up for failure.
Yeah.
And because of this high and mighty morality clause, he's trying to impress upon people. They don't want him in jewelry. I don't want you in jewelry because I'm about to lie. I'm about to backstab. If I got a promise on my aunt, my grandma, my baby, my cat, my dog, which I don't even have, I will do it. And you're not going to tell me I'm a bad person because I'm willing to. I will backdoor you. I will
Yeah.
lie to you. I will do whatever. But that
Right.
doesn't make me any less than you. So I hate that very, very much. Like,
Yeah.
no, nope.
Yeah.
I hate it. And
So
and it's already biting him in the butt. People are talking about the fact that he plays with this morality clause when it benefits him.
yes,
It's not working for him. He needs to stop.
Harrison does a lot of things that it benefits him, and then goes and tells other people they can't do that. How dare you do that? And he's literally Riley 2.0. And he's literally like everything. I was like, they're like the Spider-Man meme. Like literally, their HOHs are like. But he like we're gonna find out tonight that he played this just a little worse than even we thought Riley played it, because
Yeah, I
apparently
am excited, and we're going over. So
yeah.
do you want to just chit chat a teeny bit about the party and what we thought, that we
Oh,
had a nice time?
oh my gosh. So I've been
Guys,
to three of Oz's house chops parties, and um she throws the best parties, guys. So if you have not been to a house chop party and there is one coming near you in the area, I flew to Detroit for this party. It was still very warm.
yeah.
Detroit
This
was very nice.
this was my first House of Chops party. I will definitely, definitely, definitely be going to them in the future. Had the best time. Ozza was so warm, so welcoming. She remembered who I was, which made me even happier. Um, the food was good. The atmosphere was fun. It was fun chatting and meeting other fans. I saw a few other podcasters there that I was chatting with. And then I got to meet Miss Hale, who was absolutely everything. I did not think I could be a bigger fan, but I absolutely love her. She's the best.
Yeah.
She stayed like that. There was a line of people for over an hour
Yeah.
waiting to speak to her. As soon as the line would go down, here come more people.
Yeah.
And she stayed and she talked with every single person that wanted to talk with her, stayed beyond the party. And then at the end of the night, we got to sit and talk with Ozza like we were old friends. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, what is life? Like, what is really going on? And it was just a great time. And she does a good job of just making you feel like a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Detroit party was so much more homier. It was because I went to New York. New York was so busy, and like um Taylor had lines of people trailing her all over the place.
Yeah.
And I thought she and Ozzy did such a good job of her managing, and then we like partied at the end of the night,
Yeah.
and that was a fun vibe. It was very New York, and
Yeah.
but Detroit was very homey, I will say,
Yeah.
and they were the best host. And they just made everybody feel at home. There was a lot of locals. There was some people who came from far and wide, like we did. And so it was just such a nice vibe the entire night. And then the show was like delayed an hour, and
Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah.
And everybody was tight. The drinks were great, the food was great, so he has picked two great spots so far. So yeah, like if you have not gone to one of the parties, definitely check them out. Hi, Miss History. A good episode recap. Oz is the ultimate host, and I'm glad you were able to. Thank you.
Oh, it was so fun, Miss History.
Yeah,
I was just so I admit I was so nervous to talk to Taylor. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna say? You don't want to be weird,
yeah.
but she's just the best at like making you feel like a friend, making you feel at home, calming your nerves.
Yeah.
She's absolutely amazing. I don't know, Natalie, because I didn't see one.
The thing is, kind of like, I don't want to compare him to Taylor, but sometimes you just have to let the other person spin out. And what we've watched on the live feeds is Riley has, like, she's not really shifted the target off herself. She has not done the things to, while she is talking to people. Hey, Tracy, I know.
I didn't, but hey, girl.
um, while she's doing her job talking to people, she is
Mm-hmm.
not doing a good job talking to people. The
Oh,
conversations she is having are off putting. A, she's not having conversations with the correct people. She has just totally dismissed Mimi, which fine, because I guess you need somebody to target, but also you still need the girls vote for this week. So I don't understand like why you're not even having one conversation with her. So while Cameron is not necessarily like chit chatting, Cameron has at least talked to Mimi. Mimi doesn't like Cameron. He skeezes her out, but he's at least tried to chat to
yeah.
her.
He talked to her in the hammock.
Yeah.
Riley talked to Mimi in the hammock.
Not, I don't think it was about game though.
I don't know. I can't remember. But my whole thing with it was just funny to me that Sari went to her, gave her all the advice in the world
Yes.
about how to speak to Izzy and the
Yes.
points she needed to get point by point by point. You need to say that you're interested. You want to get to know her. You're sorry you didn't do it sooner. You want to. She gave her all the points. Here comes Izzy. Rita, literally after Sari gave her these pointers, she basically wrote her a script. Here comes Izzy. It had to be 10 minutes of Riley repeating herself, and not one word of what Sari had told her. I was like, what are you doing? And then finally, Sari's like, button in, saying,
Mm-hmm.
trying to give her like, Riley, what are you? Come on. You
Yeah.
know? And then Riley starts to give what Sari said, and it was still terrible.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Terrible.
girl.
I think
And
Matt tried to help her out. Matt's telling her, like, if you have to throw Cameron under the bus a little bit, said like he outed your alliance, throw him under the bus a little bit. But it's
mm-hmm.
not true. Like, why would I do that? It's like,
Oh,
oh my God, girl. Like, so yes, while Cameron is not necessarily campaigning, that's probably to his benefit because he chats too much too, and he would probably talk himself right on the damn bus home.
yeah, she's her. Maybe, what is she, 22? How old is
Yeah, I
she?
think she's 20. She just turned 23, 24, I think, because that her birthday was the day that they moved in.
Yeah, her, I don't know, maybe it's age. I don't, watching all these people, I feel like I wouldn't, Riley can win. We've seen her win. Let's see what
Yeah.
else she can do. But I wouldn't worry so much about Riley strategically. I'd
Mhm.
worry about who has Riley's ear strategically.
Right.
That would be influencing what she's gonna do. If I got your ear, that's cool. But if those ones over there that are way smarter than you, with
Right.
better strategy than you have your ear, then that's the problem. So
Right.
that's why she needs to go.
That's
I
how
don't
I feel
hear
as
her.
well. That's
Yeah,
how
I
I
don't
feel.
hear
Too
her.
many people fighting for her to stay.
Yes.
Too many people have her ear that she is too loyal to, that she
Mhm.
like Sari told her what to do, and she says that she trusts Sari and she wants to work with Sari, and she still didn't listen to anything that Sari told her to do.
I don't think she ignored it. I think that she just isn't a skilled what's the word? A skilled campaigner. Some
Mm-mm.
people can present their arguments well. She's not going to be that person. She's
Yeah.
not going to be at the end giving a good speech or
No.
wrapping up her game in any sort of way.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that I would worry about her winning, I'm like, she's a dud. She can stay. I'm sorry, that's not nice, but I wouldn't worry about her strategically. That's
Right.
it. Period.
Yeah.
Point blank. But she don't need to be in there with Jag and Blue.
Not
They
with Dragon
they
Blue.
do not.
No.
Yes, I feel like if Serene and her crew can
Yeah.
get rid of Jag and Blue,
Yes.
then they have a lot less things to worry about.
Absolutely. Um, so that's where we are with Riley. I do agree. I think she is a little entitled. I think she expects everybody to save her. Even her conversations today that I was listening to, I put a tweet out on my social media because I was there yelling at my phone because some of the stuff that she's doing is just so silly. And then you have these people, and so like Serena's like, well, should we tell her? It's like, no, don't tell her.
No. Bye. Bye,
Don't
Riley.
tell her. And so it's so funny. My dental hygienist was like, oh, what are you watching? And I told her big brother, and she's like, oh, the last two episodes were great. And I was like, oh, she's a fan. But yeah, like it's just like that. She, while she is campaigning, she is not campaigning well. Not at
Not
all.
in my
Not
opinion.
at
Yeah.
all. Natalie says that Bowie and Red are boring her, and I have to agree. I watching these episodes, I'm like, Bowie can go. Red is fake, faker than Jasmine was last year, and I just and that like in the
See,
DR.
Bowie does not bother me. I think she's so cute. And
Uh,
I'm fine with Bowie because she's a number for the side that I want to win. So
okay,
Bowie can stay.
yeah,
She
no,
ain't hurting nothing. She ain't doing nothing. She's a number. Period.
okay.
Point blank.
Well,
She gonna be in there in the end. Her and Red probably. 'Cause they don't do nothing. I would Bowie would be so far down my list of people to get out of that dang
just
house.
said
You know what
now,
I
I
mean?
know that's true.
I'd make her
Uh,
my BFF and then I'd be like, come on, Bowie. Who's gonna vote for Bowie? You know, it's a lot. Unless Bowie got something in her back pocket we haven't seen.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like listening to her and I'm just like, so are you with it? Like, are you getting it? Are you, is there stuff? Because she did say like one time she heard Miss Felicia and I think Sari and Izzy in the storage room, but she ignored the conversation. I'm like, did you really ignore it or you're just saying you know it? Now, if you're saying you ignored it, smart, smart.
Yeah.
But if you like really did not,
I think it's the latter. I think it's the latter.
I
I
can't.
know, but I like her. Is she not so cute with her little pigtails?
I can't.
I think
Anyway.
she's so cute.
So yeah, so that was the last few episodes of Big Brother. There
And
is
a
a
little bit of live feed.
yeah. The live feeds have been
Insane.
insane,
Yes.
insanity. Um, I will say this: they've not been not enjoyable. But I also don't take offense to people like last year when the leftovers were doing crazy things. I enjoyed it. Like,
Yeah.
what? Listen, I got through Taylor's HOH yelling and screaming. Other people who were yelling and screaming about her. And I'm like, I don't understand. She's doing this because of this and that. And they're like, and Joseph's doing this because of this and that because of that. And I'm like, and it all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And so I will ride or die on that. But listen, I went through those ups and downs. These are just like conversations. Are they happening too early? Probably,
Yeah.
probably. Let's not make definitive decisions too or early. But or like let's not have conversations about our decisions with the other side of the house and
Too
completely
early.
abandon your persons on your side of the house
Yeah.
before you finalize what you're probably going to do. And so I think that was the mistake I saw a lot with Sari and Izzy. Izzy and Sari, them as a pair is it's a lot. It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot.
It's a lot. Thank God for Jared. Thank and thank God. Like, can you imagine? I'm saying that. Thank God for Jared. Thank God for Mimi. Thank God for Miss Felicia because I feel like they keep them as grounded as possible. Um, but poor Mimi has been in the storage room in the HOH ranting and raving. All if you have not seen that, go on Twitter and go on
Yeah,
Instagram and
Mimi
look it
is
up.
out. I'm really rooting for Mimi. Really,
Me
really
too.
rooting for Mimi. Taylor's just for our fellow Taylor Hill subscribers that I know are in here. She's live messaging us about the episode. So I'm excited to wrap this up and dig into this episode. And we got to come back. I think we should come back maybe over the weekend or something and talk about the craziness of all these feeds. Because, girl,
Yeah.
I
So
can't keep
yeah,
up.
I was saying that too. Like maybe we could come back this weekend and chat about the feeds and what actually finally happens on
Right.
this
Because,
episode.
girl,
Woo!
these past 3 days, like I'm like, y'all, just let me just watch on Thursday because y'all this way, that way, that way, this way, that way. I'm like, my head hurts. I cannot imagine. Like I'm watching it annoyed. I can't like Mimi, I feel you, girl. Same rant. The math's not mathing. So it's just
Oh,
been
and Corey. Let me not forget Corey. Corey's been doing his thing. He's been trying to be as stable as possible in this mess without messing up his own game. And
kudos
he's
to
like,
him.
listen, y'all keeping Riley is good for my game. I'm just letting y'all know I think it's not a good idea.
He's right. In my opinion, it's easy. Like sometimes I'll watch and I'll be like, okay, which way's better? You never know what is going to happen next week. Is it going to turn out good for them? Is it going to turn out bad? I think Riley got to go. Keep Cam, target him later. So it's hard. Like, I feel bad because they're just trying to decide what's best for their game, and nobody purposely makes the wrong choice. All right.
All right, guys.
No.
So, as always, where can they follow you, Janelle? You have
I'm
any?
Janelle Michaud on everything that there possibly is: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it's called, Instagram. Yeah.
And you guys can follow me at Entertainment in Color everywhere. Spoutable and threads and spill and all sorts of stuff. It just depends on what I'm
Everything.
updating at the time because I'm on a lot of things. And as always, like and share and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to keep bringing you Big Brother content. I also do recaps for Love Island, and tomorrow I'll be doing recap, catch up for The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited to get to do that because next week is the finale of The Bachelorette. So we're gonna find out who she picks. So thank you guys for joining us. And
Thank you, everybody in the chat, especially our fellow hail raisers.
yes, absolutely. So we will see you next time. Go watch that episode. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.